Was you, wasn't it? I mean, Margo, I can ask Hansen. Draper is going to see him. I don't have to do it. And I already know. You were the one. You were the one who kept Draper from getting that job in New York.
Maybe you just don't understand how I felt, how I feel.
How could you have done something so unforgivable?
I did it for you.
For me? You did it because you hate Draper.
No, I don't hate Draper. Oh, for heaven's sake, if I hated Draper, don't you think I'd want him out of my life? Darling, I didn't talk to Hansen because of any feelings I have for Draper. I talked to him because I care so much for you.
Well, I can't believe that.
But when you came to me and told me you might be going to New York and I saw how unhappy you were about it, how upset you were.
Of course I was upset about leaving, Margo. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, you didn't have to leave, you see. You didn't have to leave your new home, your family, your...
No, why? Because Margo arranged it. You arranged it, Margo. Don't you understand how horrible that is?
But why? Draper has a good job here. He has a fine future right here.
That was not for you to decide. Draper was ecstatic about the possibility of working for one of the most prestigious forms.
Draper is so selfish. He was only thinking about himself.
And what about you?
April, it's taken me 25 years to
don't
find my
line. The only reason you didn't find me was because you didn't want to know where I was. You knew where I was and you just didn't care.
God, you sound just like Draper.
Yeah, Margo. Well, Draper isn't always wrong.
He would have been wrong if he had taken you to New York, away from everyone that you care for, everyone that cares for you. I've never seen you look at me like this before. Looking at me with such hatred. Oh, God, what a mess I made of everything.
Don't you understand? Don't you realize what'll happen if Draper finds out the truth? He has been so bitter. He would be angry enough to kill.
April, there was nothing unusual in Hansen talking to me about Draper. I mean, we're old friends, and he knew I was related to him.
Yeah, he knew that he would get an unbiased opinion from you, right, Margo?
Oh, he knew I'd be truthful.
How could you even use that word? After all the false things you said about Draper, that he was callow, that he was inexperienced?
Well, I would hardly call the boy mature, would you?
I think I better leave here before I say something I'm very sorry.
No, April, please. No, wait a minute. When I said that I told him the truth, I told him that you were unhappy about leaving here. I told him that I was very, very unhappy. Now, that was the truth.
And then Mr. Hansen did you a favor.
And I am sick about it when I see what it's done to you. Darling, please, don't tell Draper. He would never forgive me, never.
Come on, Paul. The only reason you're asking for that kind of money for your client is because you know that I'm stuck. And I can't get a director out here to complete this movie. Well, you tell Skylar if he wants that kind of money to go and rob a bank, because I haven't got it. Yeah, thank you.
I've been dressed for 2 hours, and all I've been asked to do is to stand aside while stage hands do their work.
Now, hurry up and wait is as venerable a phrase in show business as break a leg. You better get used to it.
Listen, I hope my relative inexperience in this field doesn't bother you. I know you've more than paid your dues to the theatrical arts, as they say.
Well, I don't think I've ever been so tactfully called an old man, Mr. Darwin. But don't be too surprised if you don't get any experience out of this.
Why?
Well, the untimely passing of Mr. Reinhardt has left us sorely in need of a director. It may take some time to find a replacement.
Why is that a problem?
Well, in this business, time is money. You see, whether we shoot or not, everybody around here gets paid. Now, Owen's going to have to find a director before the money runs out.
And what about our star?
You think Nola would come to Owen's rescue?
Well, you know how much she wants this movie to be made. And, I think she does have the capital, doesn't she?
Well, yes. I know Nola's made a great deal of money in her time. She's had the good sense to hang on to it.
Mr. Reinhardt told me once that, she's worth more than her husband.
Well, then that's probably true, but I don't think Owen would ever ask his wife for money.
You mean even if it meant the difference between producing this film and closing up shop?
Owen's very much his own man.
Yeah? I guess some people have more principles than others.
Dad, I'm sorry. I'm just not ready to direct this film.
It's a chance of a lifetime, Brian, directing an Owen Madison production.
Also to fall flat on my face.
That's not going to happen. You did some work on filming in the Navy.
Paige, you didn't have to be terribly creative making training films on swabbing decks.
Brian, now, look, all I'm asking you to do is try. Now, I promise I will try to search for a replacement. And if anything goes wrong, well, we can always make a change.
Brian, we simply can't afford to halt production. I'm sure everyone connected with the film, all of us will give you our utmost cooperation.
The only reason I'm getting this chance is because you know I work cheap, right?
That means you'll do it?
I'll give it a try. No promises, Dad.
Thank you. Now, look, if you ever need any help, you just call on your own man,
And you
all right?
stick around, okay?
You're going to be terrific.
Well, my own son directing me in a motion picture. Makes me feel very old, but very proud. Now, will you want to do my scene with Patience today? The one where I appear before her as a witch?
Oh, yeah, Mom, I want to get to that as soon as we get to the next scene on the schedule, okay?
All right. When you need me, I'll be in makeup.
All right, Dorothy, come here.
Hello. There are a couple of details about today's scene that I'm not sure about. Could I ask your advice?
Oh, I'd be delighted, Elliot. Come to my dressing room with me.
Sure.
All right, everybody, can I have your attention for a minute?
Okay.
Now, as you probably have heard, I am going to be serving as director on Mansion of the Damned. Now, I realize that I'm no Jason Reinhardt, and all I can promise you is that I'll be doing my best. Now, I'm sure you've all heard that old cliche about a film being a team effort. Well, it's never been more true than it is right now. Now, I'm very aware that I've got a lot to learn, and I don't know everything. So I'm going to need everyone's help, because I know that this film can be a success. So I'm going to need everyone to lend a hand because I need you all very much.
Brian, my boy, when you get your Oscar nomination, let me write the acceptance speech. I've got a file full of them at home and never been used.
All I ask is that you give me your attention, and I promise I'll do my damnedest to earn your respect. All right, let's go to work, huh? I want to start with scene 232, please. That's the scene between Chris and Paige. Please stay on the set now.
Ready when you are, CB.
All right.
I'll do my best to give you whatever you want.
Thanks, Chris. Now, in this scene, Tom is attracted to Patience, right? He cannot hide his feelings any longer, even though he is engaged to Hester. All right?
That little old heartbreaker me.
Yeah, you just keep in mind that you've done nothing to encourage these feelings, all right?
No, I am attracted to him.
Right. All right, now I know Jason did some preliminary blocking on this scene, so we'll go with that, all right? All right, everybody, this is a rehearsal with cameras and sound, please. All right, Paige, you remember you were at the top of the stairs looking out the window. And Tom was right behind. Okay, Chris. And action.
What do you see out there?
Mr. Halifax, you startled me.
My apologies. I was admiring the beauties of this room.
Do you think this room is beautiful? So dark and damp, and the furniture's all old and worn. It gives me a pall every time I walk into the room.
Your physical description of the surroundings may well be accurate. But at this moment, I feel this room is vibrant and alive. Even the hall of mirrors at the Palace of Versailles is no match for it.
Perhaps you see something of merit that's escaped my attention.
It is you, Patience Revere. You are the beauty of this room.
You must be a fine writer, Mr. Halifax. You have such a way with words.
Surely my observation comes as no surprise to you. You must have been aware for some time I have been an ardent admirer of yours.
You flatter me.
I love you, Patience. I am madly, impetuously, deeply in love with you.
Mr. Halifax, I know you're only jesting, but you speak of serious emotion.
But I am serious.
You're also betrothed.
Who told you that?
It's true, isn't it?
Esther has made no announcement. We were keeping our intentions secret. Your cousin delights in secrecy. Nothing excites her so much as when I whisper in her ear. Does whispering excite you too, Patience?
Oh, please, Mr. Halifax.
A betrothal kept secret is easily broken. There will be no public shame. We can go away together.
Oh, I cannot.
Esther has lived alone in solitude for many years. She can survive solitude.
But I owe her so much. I owe her everything.
Do you wish to devote your life to gratitude? Or to love? I can make you happy, Patience. Even if you respect your cousin.
Respect her? Mr. Halifax, don't you understand? I fear her.
Cut. That was just fine.
Oh, thanks, Brian.
She's an easy lady to work with.
Yeah, well, if everybody does that good a job, I don't have very much to worry about.
You want another run-through?
No. No, I want to go on to the scene between Patience and Hester. Is Miss Patterson ready yet?
Oh, let her take her time, Brian. I'm not exactly looking forward to that scene.
Why? You've never had any trouble playing fear before.
Brian, I'm ready. Come into the altar room. You haven't seen this makeup before. I want it to be in the proper setting.
Mom? We're ready to go.
Prince of eternal darkness, come unto me. Master of foulness, hold out thy hand. Breathe thy tongue of fire upon my face. Scorch my lips with thy searing kiss. Brand my soul with the irons of hell. I accept thee, Lord of evil. My heart yields to thy power. Euphas, Metahim, Frugativi, et Apalavi. Thus I evoke thee, Satan. Is my makeup convincing enough for you?
Very convincing, Mom.
I gotta hand it to you, Nola. You have a talent for makeup.
Well, shall we get started?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Now, at this point in the story, Hester is aware of what's going on between Patience and Tom.
And she's none too happy about it.
But she's invoked the presence of the devil to try to help her hold on to her fiancé.
That's right. What Hester, the witch, wants to accomplish in the scene is to gaslight Patience a little bit, to give her one hell of a scare. All right? Take your places and we'll run through it. All right, everybody, this is a rehearsal, please, with camera and sound. And Joe, punch up that sound cue when I give you the cue again, all right? You ready, Paige? Yeah. Okay. And action.
Oh, did I awaken you, dearie? I'm so sorry. You were lying there so still, still as death.
Oh, I must be dreaming. You're nothing more than a nightmare. Go away.
I can assure you I'm very real. Do not deal lightly with me.
How did you get in here?
Oh, even doors with bolts are no barrier to me.
Who are you?
A woman. Not so soft and pretty as you, Patience Revere, but still a woman.
How do you know my name?
Well, I know many things about you, more than you may care for me to know.
Go away, you frighten me.
Do I strike more fear in your heart than you have ever known?
Very possibly.
What do you fear most in all the world, dearie?
Go away, please.
Is it thunder and lightning, the rage of Mother Nature?
Go away.
Or how about vermin? I've seen many a frail girl faint dead away at the sight of a field mouse. Is that it?
I warn you, do not try to harm me. I'm not alone in this house.
I wonder how badly you must quiver when a rat crosses your path.
I wish not to think of it.
Oh, I see one now. In fact, a whole pack of them. Oh, horrible, black, squealing, nibbling, scuttling. It's a rat! It's a real one!
It's all right, Paige, come on.
Hold it, Paige. What's wrong?
Right. There's nothing about that in the script. Nothing about showing me a real rat.
Well, we were talking about it. A little visualization never hurt. It's only made of rubber. It's a toy.
No, you know that I have been terrified of rats ever since I was a little girl. Why did you do that to me? Why?
No, come on. That was a cruel thing to do.
I meant well, Owen, honestly.
How? By scaring Paige half to death?
Now, Paige has been showing signs of becoming a fine actress, but I felt she's been holding back. I thought something like this might get some genuine emotion from her.
Oh, was that real enough for you, Nola?
All right, Paige, let's just calm down. Now, I want to run through the scene again, and this time with no rats, I promise.
No, Brian, I've had enough. I've had enough of this browbeating from her. I'm through. Find yourself another Patience Revere.
Come in.
I need your signature, please. Thank you. Margo, I was thinking about David Hansen and that he is going to see Draper again. And I've realized that there's only one thing for you to do, and that is to call Mr. Hansen and tell him that everything you said about Draper was false.
Right. That's what you want me to do. Ginny, get David Hansen for me, please, in New York. Yes, thank you. Oh, David, I can't tell you how pleased I am that the opening still exists and that Draper will be getting a second chance.
I just felt I had to give him the courtesy of an interview.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I just judged Draper on his own merits, and I know you'll make a very astute decision and that it will be the right one. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you. I can't tell you how much that means to me.
It doesn't absolutely guarantee that Draper will get the job.
No, but it will give him a fair chance, and that's all I can ask for. You're not such a bad mother after all.
Anything for you, darling.
Yeah. Well, I have to get back to work.
Hello?
Hello, David.
Did you forget to tell me something, Margo?
Well, about what?
What about the conversation we just had?
Why, David, what conversation?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh, David, our little talk that you think took place. About my reversing my attitude on Draper? Getting the job? No, that never took place.
What?
Forget everything I just said. Now, what I told you in our original conversation stands. If and when you meet with Draper Scott, you had better find out that he is not the type of attorney you need in your firm.
Yeah, but you just said...
Look, it is a woman's prerogative to change her mind. Now, surely you should understand that. David, our little bargain is still in effect. Capiche?
Margo, you're asking me to hurt this boy twice.
All right, would you rather hurt this boy or would you rather hurt yourself?
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Simply that if you give Draper Scott your seal of approval, your wife is going to hear a few things about your past that will make you a bachelor overnight.
Margo, would you dredge up the past?
I won't, if you do as I ask.
Margo, Francine is somebody that shouldn't be hurt. She's an ill woman. She has a bad heart.
Look, if you love her, you'll do as I say, because if I call her, after she hears what I have to say, I'm afraid it would be enough to kill a healthy woman.
Margo, you're being so unreasonable.
David, this is more important to me now than ever before. Now, Draper and his wife are not going to New York. They're staying right here in Monticello. Do you understand?
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find, always on our mind, and frustrated days pass without sight, the edge of night, half dark, half light, as we watch our hearts